Hello guys, good morning from Dhaka, Bangladesh. Welcome back to the channel. I'll be doing few reviews for you. First episode, I'm going to start with a flanker of a very sort of like a popular fragrance, which is called Philipp Plein, No Limits. And this is called Philipp Plein's No Limits. I think super fresh. Okay. So this is more like a fresher take on the original. We'll see if it's more or less the same. Some people did say this fragrance smell just like the original. Is it redundant? So we'll answer that question, and there are a few reviews on YouTube. You can check them out. Really great reviewers talked about this, but not as widely spoken of as some of the other fragrances. Okay. So this is very interesting presentation, and the price point is a bit high in Bangladesh if you talk about retail, but if you can get it discounted, it's going to be a very good deal. It comes in 90 ml size. That's one thing I do not like, but this is very interesting fragrance in designer game. I think if I bought some fragrance recent years, this is one of the more unique ones, very enjoyable, and it's not just another clone of Dior Sauvage or Aventus. Okay, so that's a good thing. So let's break it down. I do have the original for a few years now, I think a couple of years. Just treasured this a lot, and their theme is so cool. It's like the Punisher, the skull. And the other thing is this bottles look like a credit card sort of thing, very sleek. And I have really wanted to buy the skull version of there. The bottle is just like a by Kilian Dark Lord. If you have seen that bottle, that skull sticks out. That is very expensive, $300. So that I'm not gonna buy, but let's review this. Okay, so packaging is really beautiful. Looks like this. Okay, you can see the new addition is the blue to the black. So that's what I think. The No Limits and the blue super fresh sort of like is different than the original. Original is all like dark theme. Okay, and check out my review on the original. It's 90 ml, and this is a concentration of EDT or the toilette. The side it says plain super fresh with the S is on the like a different side. It looks like a dollar bill, okay, or dollar sign. The back looks like this, really nice. And this is actually sort of like a very sleek presentation. The batch could be here, and it opens from here. It would be nice if it slide it out, but it's okay. Not very heavy paper cardboard. It's just nice. The retail on these are around in Bangladesh. I think retail is around 110 to $120. Okay, so look for a good deal. Do not pay those prices. The original bottle looked like something like this. Okay, not much different from the original. Exact same bottle, just that you see the differences here. No Limits written with blue. Okay, and the side you'll see the differences. So the original one side is like this. It's glass, plastic, and this one I don't know what material. Maybe gunmetal plate or something. Built-in atomizer. Here you press and it sprays. This is the original with the batch code and everything at the base. Let me show you the super fresh one. It has this blue, and I really think the blue looks really good on this. Okay, you might think this is an aquatic take on the original, but not much. Okay, I'll tell you. So Philipp Plein, the P, and then again the atomizer. I'm wearing this fragrance here early morning though, 7 a.m. Kind of cold because of stormy and rain. Okay, the sprayer is kind of soft. Okay, really nice pressure atomizer like Dior Sauvage. And this one I'm wearing in my right arm. Okay, like right palm. So this is a release of 2021, I think. Not recent release, but more of a flanker to the original. And this one has quite an interesting note breakdown. I think it has, let me check on Fragrantica, C notes. Okay, then artemisia, black currant, black fig, lavender, black pepper, cardamom, grapefruit, bergamot, ginger, leather, bourbon, vanilla, white chocolate, woody notes, sandalwood, cedar, patchouli, papyrus, musk, and amber. Quite a heavy notes breakdown. Just like the original, it follows most of the notes, but added notes are perhaps more zingy citrus like grapefruit. The original one also had some sort of grapefruit, but it's more intense. Okay, the original one smell basically like a daring leather jacket fragrance, like leather jacket, bad boy, biker. If you know CH Man Privé or fragrances like I'm going to show you one by one. I felt this was more, original was a more polished version of Gucci Guilty Absolute, or less daring version, more wearable. That one I do love. Let me create a little bit more space because I have a few fragrances to show you. Okay, that one is closest. I did a comparison between this and this, and I think they're really good, but this is discontinued. This is still available. Next one I said a similar fragrance would be something like Bulgari Man Terra Essence. Even though not same fragrance, but the grapefruit, the mineral earthiness, they have some similarity. Then I would say in the same genre, I would say Tobacco Rush by Afnan. It's more of a spicy tobacco leather scent, but I think they belong in the same family. Okay, I have one more. I don't know where I'm gonna keep that. And as a fragrance, I would say similar in the family is Yup. Wow. Okay, I got it in recent times. Let's keep it here for a review sake. I hope it doesn't drop. Okay, so yes, I fit everything in the space. So now this one smells like a leather vetiver combo. At the same time, there was something playful vanilla. So make this fragrance kind of like a very unique and mysterious. Okay, so the original one I really would say is one of a kind, and it's a 10 out of 10 fragrance for sure. Longevity is great. Cold weather fragrance definitely. So what do you expect in the fresh one, the no limits super fresh one? The name is kind of, you know, over the top already. Presentation, some people say they do not like, they don't care for this cheap presentation. I understand, but they have a theme, you know. So Philipp Plein, I think they have this theme, then they make it like this, you know. So people who love them, they really love them like a tattoo artist or something. So you understand the concept, but if you are not a big fan, it's okay, right? It's not a classy bottle or anything, but looks slick. So the super fresh one, the name, you would imagine maybe a C note. Okay, wow, it's going to be so much grapefruit blue. Is it so much deviation? First time I tried this one, I've been testing this for about few months now, and I got it finally. But upon initial spray, I did not find them, you know, like first impression was this is so similar to this, and it's not huge difference. And you really have to test it over and over again to see the difference. It's about uh, 25 to 30% different than this. Okay, not entirely. It's not a different fragrance. It's definitely a flanker of this. But the other things that you get from this fragrance are the first thing you get when I smell it, it's kind of like a milder one thing. Second thing, it's a little bit cooling. Somehow it works. They made a cooling version of No Limits, right? And you wouldn't imagine that, like, okay, something like this kind of fragrance, you know, this kind of leather, a little bit of a how to say, winter heavy. How can you make it fresh? They actually could achieve that, right? So that's the first thing is different. Okay, it is still not wearable in summer. I think you can wear it, but it's not a summer fragrance. If this is winter, this is more like a fall. Okay, it's early days of fall. If you just cannot take the intensity of this, you can switch to this or get this instead. Longevity on both very good, but I think the original lasts about a couple of hours more. Okay, because of the heaviness on the dry down and the notes breakdown. So both of them are very good. But another thing I noticed, it gives sort of like a cool breeze in the, like a mid fall, you know, like if you're taking a walk in the park, right? And you are just like, you know, not many people, you know, if you remember a movie called The Devil's Advocate, right? There's a scene that the lawyer sort of is, was it the lawyer? Someone was jogging and then the spirits were chasing him. It was very spooky scene. But I imagine like with this theme, you know, it reminded me of the scene in the park. Okay, so someone in New York, very cold, and you're just running, you know, wearing your sweaters and stuff, and you have like your mufflers, and then you know you have your like gloves and all that. And it's a cold weather. This is gonna be perfect for morning. And when I smell them side by side, the differences are evident. And more you smell, the dry down also is a little bit different. So the 25% difference is, the first thing is the cooling oceanic note and still remaining with the original. Second thing I would say, the longevity is and the push is not as much as this. I think this one will project about 3 hours. This one projects about 1.5 hours. So you expect that with a fresh fragrance. But is it redundant? That's the big question. If you have this, do you need this? If you're a big fan, if you're a collector, yes. But if you ask me, do you need both? I would say go for this because this is actually a better fragrance than this. But uh, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying this is a bad fragrance, right? You can own absolutely both. You'll be fine. But if you have a collection that you don't want to get something redundant, like one smells something like the other one, then you can skip it. Okay. I got it especially because I think this fragrance is really good. It gives you sort of like a fresh breeze, like something like Invictus Aqua or Hawas would give you. Even at that point, I would say there's a fragrance called Salvatore Ferragamo leather. Okay, I don't have that. I just have this blue one. But if imagine this blue note had a leather, and you know if you combine those, I think it's pretty much in the same ballpark, right? So if you actually are a fan of Ferragamo by Ferragamo, Salvatore Ferragamo, or the Salvatore Ferragamo leather, then you definitely like it. It's a good fresh leather fragrance for mild cooler months, right? So that's pretty nice, and still it stands out. If you couldn't stomach Gucci Guilty Absolute, which is I still find it challenging, it's not like a scary version of that, or like something scary like that. So it's a good fragrance, it's unique, and just do not pay retail. Okay, so overall I'm very happy with this purchase. um, Look for a good deal and you'll be happy. Just that if it was 100 ml, it would be so perfect. I don't know why 90 ml. I mean, 90 ml feels a little bit pain, like even Gucci does that, right? Look at Bulgari, good boy, 100 ml full bottle, right? So it's okay, to each his own. Just that one thing I have against it is that 90 ml bottle. Apart from that, really good juice. This is a 10, this is 8.5. Okay, both younger brother of this, both are really, really solid. Looks really good in the collection, I think, and smells really, really nice. So I would suggest, instead of buying, too many Sauvage clones or the same old, you can try something different. And this one, I'll tell you one other thing. I noticed there's apart from the black pepper and cardamom, there's this nice sort of lemony texture somewhere, keeping the whole fragrance fresh. It doesn't really get that dark point, okay, like to that dark point. It always keeps the fragrance kind of cooling, citrusy, lemony, with those peppery, those properties, and the spices mixes really well with the leather and the bourbon vanilla. Okay, so at that point you might feel like it could be a nice fizzy drink or a mild booziness. Yeah, you can find that, right? But it's refreshing take on the original, and I think this is also criminally underrated, both these fragrances. Check it out. Philipp Plein, no limits, super fresh, gets 8.5 out of 10. Solid fragrance, solid presentation, and longevity is very good. Thank you so much for watching. Let's move on to the next video. Take care.